For decades, they've put their lives on the line to help the community, and now you can take a walk through the San Antonio Fire Department's history.
Yeah, with more on the San Antonio Fire Museum, President Jim Weesty joins us. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So for those that don't know, what is the San Antonio Fire Museum?
The San Antonio Fire Museum, our whole objective is to preserve and display the history of the San Antonio Fire Department, starting way back in 1854.
And with the San Antonio Fire Department, I mean, even before the creation of the fire department, how did the community fight fires? Does the museum sort of tell that story?
They do. The downtown merchants, they had to band together and they helped each other out, and that's eventually what started the first volunteer association, the Ben Milam Fire Association, in 1854. The second volunteer association was headed by William Menger from the Menger Hotel. So it was the downtown merchants helping each other out. That's how they started.
So if people go to the museum, what can they expect to find in there?
Well, it is based in the old fire station number 1, which was built back in 1938. It was a WPA project. So for the fire department, it's a very significant historical building. Even the firefighters from the early 20s, that was still wound up being their central fire headquarters. It's where everything happened for the fire department for many, many years, including the shops, the services. They built the furniture for the fire stations. They built the fire trucks right there. So that's our current home.
And as we know, our community lost recently SAFD firefighter Scott Dean. Does the museum highlight any of the firefighters in the past who have sacrificed their lives?
We do have a wall of honor. We do have the firefighters from San Antonio who have lost their lives. It was a very tragic situation, and we still have firefighters in the hospital from that fire. So our hearts are still with them too.
Brad Phipps.
Yes. In fact, I worked with his dad. His dad and I were contemporaries in the fire department at the same time.
Oh, wow. So what is the admission into the museum, and what are the hours and days of operation?
We're open Tuesdays through Saturdays. We have a very nominal admission fee, $5 for adults, $3 for seniors, and $2 for children. So we think we're very nominally priced, and we have a great display of old fire trucks, vintage fire trucks dating back from 1927, 1912 through the 50s. So we have a nice collection of old fire apparatuses to come and see.
Does the museum have any child fire preparedness type of classes and activities they can do?
We do. We have a children's area in the back, and we've been doing a fire prevention puppet show for groups of kids that schedule, because we don't always have the puppet masters there all day long, but for scheduled groups of kids, we do. We constantly try to drive that message home, being prepared, stop, drop, and roll, all the things that you've heard from when you were in grade school. Yes, ma'am.
So since you're right by the Alamo, do you get a lot of out-of-towners visiting? We
do. We have a lot of just walk-in guests. They don't know we're there, and they're very surprised when they do get there. We get great reviews on TripAdvisor, but most firefighters that come from across the country, they know we're here, and they all find us for sure.
All right, thank you, Jim, so much for being here with us.
It was a pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
All right, coming up,